Love visiting the small mountain towns in the Rockies while getting the feeling that Breckenridge is overrated and overrun by tourists? Well, here are 8 towns that you can visit that are not Breckenridge. We'll start with its neighbor, Dillon. Not too far from Breck, this town sits right on Lake Dillon. Here, you can go kayaking or paddleboarding, exploring the islands. You can go biking around Lake Dillon, check on one of their farmers markets, get a sailboat or a pontoon, or check out one of their concerts at the amphitheater. They bring in some great performers with free shows on Tuesday. Now, if you want something similar to Breck, but not as crowded, you can try Steamboat. Their main street looks very similar to Breckenridge. In fact, you can tell that they had the same builder or developer in a lot of the areas. But Steamboat is a little bit farther away from Denver, so it's not as crowded, and has a little more of the Wild West feel than Breck does. The main street runs parallel to the river and is a really fun place to float down on a tube. In fact, some people drive you up the river and let you float into town. Of course, there is Strawberry Hot Springs, which is one of my favorite hot springs in Colorado. Now for something completely different than Breckenridge, you have Telluride, a super iconic mountain town for sure, but it sits in this beautiful box canyon and it boasts some of the best views in Colorado, including that of Ingram Falls seen here from Main Street, and Bridalveil Falls, where you can check the view out from the end of Main Street, or hike right up to it. There's way more hiking opportunities from town here than you would find in Breckenridge, along with better views and festivals. Something similar to that would be Ouray, known as the Little Switzerland of America. It sits in this box canyon, just kind of enclosed, and all these small box canyons run into it, making for waterfalls in every direction. A good amount of them are visible from the middle of town, but a lot of them you can just hike to as they're hidden in these canyons. There's a lot more recreation here in terms of biking or climbing. They have a hot springs right in town and a via ferrata right on the edge of town. If you like an old western feel, Silverton is the best place to go. It has that super iconic western main street like Breck does, but not as overdeveloped as Breck, with most of the roads still being gravel and still having a wooden boardwalk. For something that is closer to Denver and still feels super western, that would be Leadville, with its really iconic main street and old saloons in town, along with the old opera house. They do ski joring right on Main Street here in the winter, and the mountain the town sits below is the tallest peak in Colorado. The town is surrounded by old mine ruins that you can visit on the Mineral Belt Trail. Now, if you're looking for something that has a really good food scene like Breckenridge, but not as pricey as Telluride, check out Crested Butte. The town of Crested Butte is super iconic with its colorful buildings and huge food scene. The town is surrounded by wildflowers in the spring and summer and autumn colors during the autumn season. It is known as the wildflower capital of the world. And that's it. Thanks for watching, and be sure to subscribe for everything Colorado, as that's all I do is Colorado.